Hey, hey, thanks for tuning in. This is Scott. I haven't gone live in quite a while, so I just want to make this as brief as possible about a couple of things that's been going on with me on a personal nature, and I uh, want to share how that's been equivalent to my business and how it could potentially help you. As you can see, I have tinnitus. I've been having ringing in my ears for the past 5.5 years. Okay. And when it first happened, this happened a little bit after I left my previous job working as the IT admin for a brake manufacturing company. Now, the manufacturing company, they did fine blanking pressing. So it was really loud, but you had to wear earplugs. 99% of the time, I was spot on about wearing earplugs. There were probably some times to where was it perfect, whatever it may be. It is what it is. And at first, I thought that maybe it was just a post after effect of leaving, and that it would die down, or that it would just kind of get better type of thing. Well, it hasn't. So for last week before last, I went to an audiologist, and it's definitive. I have tinnitus, and I also have some hearing loss in my right ear. Okay, and that would kind of explain a lot, because sometimes the volume of my voice, I speak really loud, and I speak loud not to be loud, but I've kind of noticed that maybe I was being loud because of the tinnitus, whatever it may be. So here lately, I've just been more aware. I'm more aware, and I joined a group for people who have tinnitus. And for those of you who may not know this, and I really didn't know this at all, but from my personal experience with tinnitus, I've never had the thoughts. I've never, ever, ever had the thoughts of suicide. Okay. Maybe there were probably some phases where I was depressed at times, maybe because of it, but maybe didn't really realize it. And it could probably be a mix of the sleep apnea that I have as well. So, they kind of go hand in hand, because tinnitus is the ringing of the ears, because the brain thinks that there's noise there, even though it's not. So it's kind of like, you know, that could be an effect of the sleep apnea or vice versa. But regardless, we're here now, and I'm doing something about it with what I can. Unfortunately, there is no definitive cure. There is no definitive treatment. Everything's experimental. I know some people have said, well, I've had surgery, and anybody that has surgery and it's legit and it's really helped, and you don't have tinnitus, contact me. All of the things that I look at, it's been experimental, and it's just like anything else that I do. Now, what does this have to do with you succeeding in business? Well, one of the big things that either the doctors told me, or anything I see in the group and my own research, is there's a psychological effect that when you remember, not when you remember it, when you focus on it, we know it's there, but when you focus on it and you put a lot of attention and energy into it, the ringing does increase. I've noticed that for myself. And when I don't focus on the ringing in the ears, if I ignore it, whatever, then the tone is lower. It slows down. Now, why is that? Because of the focus. If you've been in business for yourself for quite some time, you've probably heard about the power of focus. You've probably heard about the power of manifestation. Now, too bad I can't manage it. Too bad I can't manifest me not, having tinnitus anymore. And that's something I've done before, to where I've told myself I have perfect hearing. There's no problems with my ears. I focus on what I want, and what I want is not tinnitus. So I focus on the reverse of that. And while I still have it, obviously, it does kind of help coping with it. So the question I have for you is, if you're not being successful in your business, how much focus are you putting on yourself not being successful versus becoming more successful? You've probably heard this before, and every single motivational or science book will tell you this. If you looked at it, a lot of people, I feel as if they undervalue the power of your brain. They undervalue the power of their own brain. And unfortunately, there was this lady in the group who 3 months in, really high pitched in the ears, angry. You could tell she was angry. And there was a 70-year-old in the group who had it and was almost having thoughts of, like I said, suicide. And it's all the power in your mind. Tinnitus is not the only disease or disability. I don't think of it as a disability because I don't focus on it that much. It is what it is. But anything else in life, we have drugs or treatments or therapies or whatever it is for all these different ailments that we have. But the bottom line is the power of our mind is more powerful than what we may think. And I know this just because I've been practicing it just by not ignoring it, and it helps. So that's how my tinnitus and my self-awareness about it can ultimately benefit you if you're struggling. If you're struggling in your business, you need to focus more on being more productive, more positive. You need to focus on what it is that you want. A lot of us focus too much on what we don't want. We focus too much on the BS and even if it's not tinnitus, if we look in the current events or the current climate of our world, we're focusing on things that are negative and we're not putting any type of positive or productive energy into it. And because of that, we're getting more of it and you're getting stressed, you're getting more angry, and poof. You're at where you're at in your life and business because of the way that you think and what you focus on. Okay? You could disagree with me all you want to, but it's a fact. I'm at where I'm at because of what I've been focusing on. You are at where you're at because of what you've been focusing on or not focusing enough of. It goes both ways. So even now, I still the ringing in my right ear is more than my left, but at times it increases. You know, I'm not going to go through everything that I've noticed if I drink caffeine, it increases. Depending on if I drink alcohol, depending on if I drink beer, it's fine. But if I drink X amount of number of cups of beer or whiskey and Coke or whatever, I've noticed kind of increases. So I'm doing what I can to decrease the volume of the things that I'm becoming more aware about, and it's helping. And it's also helping again is the focus. I don't focus on the ringing in my ears. I know it's there, obviously, but I'm focusing on something else. Okay. And a lot of times it's white noise. White noise has been probably the number one uh coping mechanism at night for me because trying to sleep at night, all I hear is ringing. It could be silent throughout the house, but I hear the ringing in my ears. But if I listen to the white noise and just focus on my wife, my son, or something, if I focus on something else, it helps to drown it out. That's what I'm telling you. Your focus in your business is more important than anything. You might know why you want to have a business, and you might be uncertain of some things. You might be in a phase kind of like similar to why I'm in business, to where you're uncertain about a couple things, and you need to kind of improve or expand on your offer, your products or services, things of that nature. But again, it all boils down to focus. And with your own personal studies and awareness of focus that you can tell the things in your life or your business that you need to improve upon. And it's all about being more self-aware. Okay. So I just wanted to come in here and share that with you all, because whether it's tinnitus or something else, we all have something. Maybe not all of us, but some of us have something it's in our body or in our mind, or whether it's a chronic disease like ulcerative colitis. For myself, I have ulcerative colitis. Okay, it's probably been in remission for a couple of years, but I understand what I need to do in regards to that, as far as what to eat, what not to eat, how much, yada, 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 yada. So it's all about this life. Your business, your life is about being self awareness and focusing. Everything else is a byproduct of that. And like I said, 5.5 years I've had this. I wasn't really paying attention to the previous years. I wasn't that self-aware about it. I was still ignoring it. you know it just happened to increase a little bit in the last several months this year, in which I finally went to a doctor and found out a whole bunch of stuff. So uh there it is. And again, they talked about the psychological effect, and that's so true. And the psychological effect, psychology affects us all, obviously. It affects us how we think, or how we behave, what we believe, everything. So it's really important that you become more self aware and focus on what you want. Don't focus on what you don't want. I don't want the tinnitus. I don't want the tinnitus. I don't want the tinnitus. That doesn't help the tinnitus go away. I want to make more money. I want to make more money. That one want to make more money. That doesn't help you make more money. You have to have something more specific that you're going toward. You don't want to make a goal in the form of something that you don't want. You want to make a goal of what you do want, like losing weight. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight, or whatever. You can't do that. You have to say, I'm going to lose 21 pounds in 21 days or 30 days or 2 months, whatever it is. Have something specific that you can focus on, that's tangible, and your mind will focus on that more than all the other things. And anybody's critiquing, anybody wants to be cynical, made any money yet? How's that diet working out for you? You have to tune all that out. You have to. Because when we focus on all that, it just adds to our stress. It adds to the backward thinking that we might have, and that we just need to not have that backward thinking. Forward thinking all the time. You have to be forward thinking in your business, okay? And you've got to learn to program your mind. You can program your mind. I have a client who puts on an end of the year program every year, and has been for the last several years, called Programming Your Mind for Success. We can program our mind to not pay attention to that tinnitus, because it's going to be there for as long as I live, until there's a bona fide, legit treatment and or surgery to remove it. Period. In the story. I take supplements, all exercise, all that stuff. A lot of it helps. And another thing I have noticed lately is when I increase the volume of my voice, whether I'm yelling or just speaking louder, it affects the tinnitus. So I'm doing my best now, and will be, obviously, to not speak so loud, not yell, or not just increase the volume of my voice. So again, it's just about being self-aware. Be self-aware of where you're at in your business. Be self-aware with your own current thinking. Okay? That's the number one. Self-aware. Then, once you're self-aware, then you can focus on what you need to. You need to focus on growth. You need to focus on moving forward. You don't need to be focusing on something that you don't want. Focus on what you do want. I want perfect hearing. Regardless if that's wishful thinking or not, I'm focusing on perfect hearing. And I've noticed the last couple of days, when I would say I have perfect hearing, the tinnitus just sounds a little bit softer. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And when you become more self-aware, you will notice, but you have to immerse yourself in self-awareness. You will notice how your body reacts to if you drink caffeine or you don't, if you drink that alcohol beverage or you don't, or if you eat dairy and you don't, whatever it may be, But you have to be more self-aware. You have to focus on what you do want by reverse engineering what you don't want. So you don't say, oh, I don't want tinnitus, but instead of saying that, I want perfect hearing. Again, it might be wishful thinking or whatever, but the power of your mind doesn't really understand if it's wishful thinking or not. So it's going to help you move toward what you want, and it might just take away the focus just a little bit. And that little bit could mean a whole lot. That little bit could help. That little bit helps me have a good night's sleep. And that little bit helps me go to sleep quicker. So it's after the 15-minute mark. I want to wind this down. For those of you who come on here, I don't see comments just yet. I will. I will engage and appreciate your comments. But I hope this has helped you understand that whether you have ringing in ears, that your focus can be toward what you want, and it'll help coping. It'll help the reduction of it. Okay. But regardless of that, I have a spot open from a client recently messaged me. He's pivoting in another business, so he doesn't need my services at this point in time. So I have a spot open this month. If you're looking for somebody to help you moderate, manage, help you with your group, if you're looking for somebody that will help you get your group to where it probably needs to be, maybe you might need some help with some content, might need some help with just the timing. Groups do take a good bit of our time if that's your focus on, and you probably need an extra hand. So I have a spot open. Sign up for the consult at www.scottlucassolutions.com. Fill out the questionnaire there, and I'll get back with you. But other than that, thanks for watching, and y'all have an awesome day.